Yeah! You are watching the number one podcast in the whole entire wrestling community, and I'm one of your hosts, Juan.
And I'm your other host, Jean-Paul Leek.
And together we are
Roderick.
Roderick. Family, how's every single one of you on this Thursday, May 14, NXT Jean-Paul. We're getting closer to the weekend, so we're going excited. Another week of the Wednesday Night Wars. This time, I think AEW pulled it off a little better. I don't want to say NXT was bad, but compared to last week, I think they went a little notch down, but very informative. We have a lot of information to share with you guys.
Yeah, I definitely feel the same way. NXT last week, it was like a super show, we kind of called it, championship matches and stuff. And usually after a pay-per-view, WWE, the show after a pay-per-view is usually kind of like, after they, I want to make a reference here, but after, you work really hard, a horizontal mambo, sometimes you got to, you got to rest.
You got a recycle thing. You got to just kind of regroup again.
Exactly. So that's what this show was. And I do think AEW, they had the edge this week.
Yeah. And, thank you so very much to every single one that is watching all the videos. Don't forget Jean-Paul Wrestling Hall. Absolutely great video with new figurines. Macho Man Randy Savage, all old school from the 80s. Absolutely outstanding. AEW review. Jean-Paul and myself, family, talking about Mike Tyson introducing the TNT Championship to Cody Rhodes and Lance Archer at Double or Nothing. A lot of build-up for that match. But, that's the link is right there in the description because we're talking about NXT this time, Jean-Paul. A lot of info, like I said. But before, let's start from the very, very, very beginning. NXT Tag Team Championship match. Matt Riddle and Timothy Thatcher going against Imperium, Fabian Aichner, and Marcel Bartel. So a really good match. Something really bad happened because in the end, Matt Riddle ends up hitting Timothy Thatcher, and Timothy Thatcher gets all pissed off. What's going on, bro?
Hey, I forget which one of the members of Imperium it was, but he monkey flipped him, boom, and it hit Thatcher, and I don't know if he was having maybe he's having a bad tooth day, but maybe that's every day, I'm not sure. But he got pissed off, and he just walks away. Yeah. And then Riddle's like, bro, he's like, Tim, bro.
What are you doing, bro?
Yeah, and then it's of course, they hit that European uppercut. I think it's a power bomb.
The European bomb. European bomb.
Legit finisher, and you knew Riddle wasn't kicking out. And, within the first 15 minutes of the show, boom, new tag champs. But
we have new tag team champions.
Yeah, I feel you and I both kind of saw this coming. It was one of those things where the real tag team was, the bros, the broserweights they were called. So it's that was the real tag team. Unfortunately, everything going on. Pete Dunne is over, across the pond. We have Timothy Thatcher. You knew this wasn't going to be the team. And I like how, throughout the show, we saw the tensions build. And then when we got to the main event, and you still know that this feud isn't over. And it gives something for Matt Riddle to do.
Exactly. The main thing that you're saying is just they were supposed to build some tension. They did. Timothy Thatcher ends up turning on Matt Riddle. And, hey, we have new tag team champions. They're doing something great with Imperium. They deserve that. And also, we don't know when they're going to be able to go back to England. We don't know what the future of NXT UK is. So might as well give these guys the championship because they're a legit tag team. So
and now we can see more fresh matchups because the broserweights are, Thatcher, the broserweights 2.0, whatever. We kind of saw them wrestle pretty much everybody. So now we can see, Imperium kind of mix it up with some teams. So it's a little bit of a more fresh matchup.
Yeah, and like you said, the whole theme was based on that. In the pretty much the separation, the tension, and they ended up winning the bout between Timothy Thatcher and Matt Riddle. So good stuff. We have new NXT Tag Team Champions. We're all really happy about that because the song, Symphony 9, Imperium is absolutely great.
I legit pop when I heard it because I didn't hear it for a little while, and I'm like,
sometimes I don't even care if they're good wrestlers or not. In this case, they are, but how legit the theme song is, that I'm completely sold. Something that I'm also sold is, there's going to be Tegan Knox.
Captain Marvel.
Captain Marvel, there you go. Yeah. Captain Marvel, because she's a really big fan of the movie and everything. So, she had a match with Indy Hartwell. She was from New Zealand. Oh, no, I'm sorry, from Melbourne, Australia. So they had a debut in NXT. And I guess they needed a good showing for Tegan. We don't really know what's going to happen with her. What route is she going to go? Because is she done with the feud with Dakota Kai? I don't really know.
Yeah, it's kind of weird because we did get a Well, to talk about this match, it was a good debut for Indy Hartwell. Of course, Tegan Knox isn't going to lose. And see, that's the one, like, she looked good, and maybe they're going to take a feud out of this. I don't know. They're just adding another woman to the already amazing but extremely overfull women's, division here in NXT. So maybe this is a sign there's going to be some more call-ups. I don't know if that's a good idea because the shows on the main roster aren't really doing anything. But now we lost Becky Lynch. So maybe there's going to be another call-up or two. Who knows? Hopefully it's Charlotte Flair, and that's it. But Tegan Knox looked good here. Indy Hartwell looked good, even in a losing effort. And I think you could retouch the Tegan Knox, Dakota Kai feud, but I don't think right now because I think we've seen enough kind of separate them a little bit. Maybe, couple 4 or 5 months down the line, maybe with some gold involved or, gold implications to challenge for it, then put them together again.
Yeah, like and that's what I agree about with you, all everything that you're just saying, because I want her actually to start going with somebody different. I want to see Tegan, in a different feud. I want to see what level of intensity she can bring to a different feud. Maybe challenge, a potential number one contender. Kind of be in that conversation, because we know that like right now Charlotte, Io Shirai, and Rhea Ripley are like the title contention. That's the three girls. But maybe come up the fourth girl, meaning, hey, you're next. Whatever happens with these girls, the outcome, then I'm the one challenging that woman. So Tegan Knox, like you said, pretty good stuff. Chokeslam. The chokeslam came out a little sloppy for my taste. Then we got to see the cannonball and the shiniest wizard of all time. So Tegan gets the win. Good stuff on that, Mr. Leek. We go now. We go to like the last week's situation with Charlotte and Io Shirai. A lot of people they were praising the match all the way up till the end because it was kind of crappy. And then Rhea Ripley, we got a video package from her, Jean Paul. She pretty much got in the middle of the situation, and she said, "Well, after Charlotte, we had our match. I haven't been able to rest because I know I can beat her. But like the old saying of that old man, this is only the beginning. This is only the beginning, and she's gonna address this because the feud is not over yet. And now we get confirmation that next week is gonna be Rhea Ripley against Io Shirai. Your thoughts on this, Jean Paul? I don't really how to I don't want Io to lose, and I'll tell you that, and I'll tell everybody in the family, I don't want Io to lose.
Oh yeah, no, I think not. I think I know that I agree with you 100%, but I do think the family does as well. Nobody wants to see Io lose. It was her time. We've been saying it's been her time, not just since 2-3 weeks ago. We've been saying it 2, 3, 4, 5 months ago that it's her time. I think she should have been the one to beat Shayna Baszler. When they were having their feud there. So, she's got to win this match if it's going to be clean. Now, I think the way you book it is Charlotte comes down again with the kendo stick, whack, 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 another DQ, gets more heel heat on Charlotte, literally, can we live? Can we please wrestle a match? Do you have to beat us up with the kendo stick? You know what? We're going to settle this once and for all. I would do it's already no DQ, but I would do a triple threat. Maybe have toys involved too. Just that they can use them, maybe have it that – because sometimes you see triple threats and it's just a legit match. Let them use the kendo sticks. Let them use chairs. Let them use whatever.
Well, boom. Triple threat is supposed to be, no DQ.
Yeah, so. But I'm just saying a lot of times we don't ever see that, though.
Give them toys,
Yeah, that's what I mean. Let them go wild. Let them have a legit match because we know all three of these women are tough.
Yeah.
They all do, put their bodies on the line. So that's what they need to do. Next week, there can't be a clear winner. If Io wins legit, then you got to give props to Rhea for putting her over and this and that. But if Rhea wins, then to me it's like I would say what I said at War Games. It's like Roman Reigns in the women's division on NXT. She's just squashing all the talent that should be pushed as well, and it's just a one-woman agenda.
And that's the one thing that I don't want to happen, and I'm hoping and I'm praying and I'm doing every single thing to make sure that thing doesn't happen because Io deserves so much better.
Yep.
That girl, she's been considered the best wrestler in the world. Give her that title. She's good. She deserves that title match, and she deserves to win it. So that's something that, like you said, hopefully that doesn't happen. So we go to Matt Riddle, because he got a backstage. He's on a tablet. He's talking to William Regal, and he pretty much is thanking William Regal because he asked for a match with Timothy Thatcher, and that would have been our main event. And I really like this because Riddle is like, bro, what are you doing? He's like, he wanted to get some answers. He had to get revenge, and they kept brawling backstage.
I like that because he's on the tablet. He's like, I can't think. He's talking to Regal. He's like, I can't thank you enough, bro. Yeah. Thank you, bro. It's like the way he talks is like, how can you not like laugh at this guy, but like laugh with him? Because he's
Yes,
just like,
yes.
you know what I mean? Not like at him, because one, he'll knee strike you in the face, so I wouldn't laugh at him either. And you saw what he did to Thatcher. He walked in, and they're kind of looking at each other, like you said, brawl, beating the hell out of each other. Thatcher grabs like a TV monitor, throws it at him, and all this craziness. So it was kind of like when you see like, oh, that's the main event. You're like, like, you know what I mean? It's not like anything exciting, but to me, at least, it wasn't another Adam Cole or somebody else in the main event. So I was actually looking forward to this.
Yeah, it was different. See, was a very different show because there was a lot of things that like also pieces of information that were added to it. So now, Jean Paul, we're gonna go to Cruiserweights tournament and we go to a match that like a lot of people thought it was gonna be super legit. I think that like the outcome wasn't that great. It was Jake Atlas going against Tony Nese, the premier athlete. I don't know why he goes by that because in these situations he ends up losing. He ends up losing because he got another car wheel DDT, or like you call it, like the rainbow DDT by Jake Atlas. So he actually gets another win. He's 2-1, and Tony Nese gets 3-0.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Tony Nese, he looked legit in this match, and he looks legit. I love the move that he does where he like jumps over the ropes and he like snaps you into the ropes and he like lands on the outside, and he's just like extreme. I mean, he is a great athlete. He's probably one of the best athletes. You look at the dude, he looks like a Greek god, like his body, sculpted out of stone. But all that doesn't mean shit because he looks like a loser.
Yeah. Yeah.
How can this guy, he was cruiserweight champ, all this other stuff, he's talking all this trash. I wasn't pinned to lose my title. I lost it unfairly, blah, blah, blah. And then you book him 0-3 in the tournament? Now, I don't, Jake Atlas, legit, but he can afford to have another loss here because, he's already won. You're not going to use him in the finals. He's not going to be, your interim cruiserweight champion. You're just trying to get him established to the audience. Okay, he's established. We know he's a nice guy because, he's supporting Maverick. He can suffer a loss here. Tony Nese, to me, looks like a loser because now I've seen him lose 3 times in a row. Yeah, I know he's legit, but when I see him on TV, my first thought is, oh, he's going to lose.
Yeah.
So now you presented him as a loser. Yeah, you presented him as a loser.
He's the only one that is 3-0.
Yeah.
The only one that hasn't been able to get a win. So that's I don't think that it helps Tony Nese, and they should do a little bit better with him. But I think this signifies what we're going to talk about a little later in the show because I think something in the meanings of turn happened over there. But like as you said, good match. Jake Atlas gets the win, 2-1 in the Cruiserweight tournament. We go to like Zoom, the same thing we're doing right now. Zoom with the Undisputed Era. Adam Cole and Roderick Strong, Bobby Fish, Kyle O'Reilly, they were all, but we finally got to see Kyle O'Reilly. We already mentioned why he's been off TV. The guy's diabetic, so they want to, of course, he needs to be extremely cautious. They have to prevent, from this coronavirus pandemic, so that's why he's been off TV, but like they're all talking. And like you said, the interaction wasn't that, I will say, what the word, it wasn't that
It did seem like,
real.
Yeah, it didn't seem like
natural.
authentic. Yeah, it didn't seem, exactly, like authentic, real. It felt like, you had 4 friends calling each other, but everything that came out of their mouth was written.
Yes.
It wasn't like 4 friends calling each other like, "Hey man, what's up? How you doing?" It was all like, "Hey bro, like, oh, what Undisputed Era shirt are you wearing?" I'm like, who the hell says that when you call your friends? I'm like, come on. So this segment to me is a little I mean, they were talking about not Dijakovic.
They were talking about Dexter Loomis. They were talking
Dexter
about
Loomis, and it's like, so we're going to see Roderick Strong going against Dexter Loomis. So that's going to be legit. Roderick Strong is a hell of a wrestler. I'm a huge fan of his. Dexter Loomis, we both like him, so we definitely want to see more from that. But like I said, with the Undisputed Era, just kind of present them in a cool, legit way. And instead of like they're kind of commercializing them, making them more like, oh, they're the number one, face of NXT is Undisputed Era, where it's like they should be like the number 2 face because they should be the bad guys. They should be where it's like you hate them, but they're still really cool, so you kind of like them. They shouldn't be where it's like, I don't know. I feel like they're just kind of giving off a little bit of a more friendlier vibe.
Yeah, well, that's like, for example, AEW's Bubbly Bunch.
It's exactly. Exactly.
It's the same analogy, same comparison. They're acting the same way, but like I will go with the point that you just mentioned yesterday on AEW. They have to make it more kid friendly because they know that like more people, mostly kids, are watching the show. So probably that's what they did. They also like try to like acknowledge O'Reilly, kind of like saying that he's acting in the movie. He's saying like, how's your movie going? So like he's like, oh, I am acting with this guy. So that's kind of like they wrote a way for him to be off TV. because he has a movie role to do. But like pretty much like they're gonna address Dexter Loomis next week, and the one that is gonna be appointed is Roderick Strong, like you mentioned. So we'll see where this story goes, because Loomis, he's not gonna lose. Loomis is a really great character.
No,
They
and
want
I
to
could
keep it
see,
pure like that.
yeah, and again, I mean, it's Undisputed Era, so you can smell interference. It's in the air. Roderick Strong, he's probably gonna lose or be losing. You get Kyle O'Reilly and Adam Cole come out, and then
Well, you would say
who
Bobby
knows?
Fish and Adam Cole.
Oh, Bobby Fish. Yeah, Bobby Fish. Excuse me. Yeah. So he comes out, and then boom, boom, boom. Maybe we get another tag match in the following week, or we get some kind of development. But that's how I see that going down.
Yeah, we will see who is the next one to step up to be the #1 contender, or to the NXT Championship, or we will still be the Velveteen Dream. So we don't know about that yet. But Mr. Egg, we go back to a video package from TikTok. And it's not the TikToks that you eat the candy or anything, or like the fresh mints. It's just like it's Karrion Kross and Scarlett Bordeaux. I really love the fact that they use like a song that they used to do for pay-per-views back in the day, in like the days of Armageddon. I'm talking about like 06. It's like No Mercy, the end is near. Like really, really great stuff. Like that gave me the vibe of like the old school things. And pretty much they were talking about how like they're gonna be dominating the whole NXT world. They started out with Tommaso Ciampa, and then they said that they addressed the Undisputed Era also, and they said the Dream is going to be over soon. So like they kept addressing every single one on the main guys on NXT, and they said, well, the time is pretty much ticking, and they ended it with TikTok. So,
and that's a cool promo. I do like how it's not one of those things where it's like, oh, I'm going to come here and my only focus is Tommaso Ciampa. Because it's like Ciampa's legit, but, I don't want to see a one-on-one feud, because it's like, do something else with him. Maybe give him a break. The dude has been working hard, had this injury. You don't need to keep working him like a dog. Let Karrion Kross come in here. The focus should be him in the feud, so let him attack everybody. Let it be almost like NXT versus him, because I still hang on to that line Byron Saxton said. Why the hell did NXT bring this monster in here?
Yes.
That is a legit way to get him over. That's like a Bruiser Brody. Like you sign Bruiser Brody, he comes to the ring swinging a chain, yelling at fans who'll be like, who let this crazy animal in here? That's how you legit get somebody over.
Exactly. And see that's how like Karrion Kross should be portrayed. That's the easiest way to have his character be. Even like I would much rather to see Lance Archer in this kind of role, completely attacks everybody. But I mean everybody. Yeah. He doesn't go to a specific guy. Everybody. So a good stuff, and of course seeing Scarlett, she didn't say much, but that was like still extremely cool, and I liked how like the light, there was pretty much no light, it was kind of dark, and you can just see just shadows. Like pretty cool like addition on the video, pretty cinematic.
Oh, definitely.
So Finn Balor, Jean-Paul. Finn Balor, like he's the one that like is staring at the camera, and then we're gonna see his match with Cameron Grimes. But before that, we get a video package from your girl, Dakota Kai from New Zealand, and she's talking about how the friendship came out with Raquel Gonzalez. She's like, well, I've been sidelined my whole time on NXT. When like I was working out, I had to start my workout so then could film Tegan doing her workout. So I got mad about that, and Raquel feels the same way. So really, really good stuff. I like how in the end they had like a picture of both of them together, and you see how like they're really cohesive. They're in unity, and I really like that.
And I wish, because the thing with Raquel, how they're not really hinting, or they're hinting it, but they're not really telling you. Her story is the same, but it's with Rhea Ripley. She kind of came in the same time, and it's like everyone's like, oh, Rhea's legit. And then she kind of got forgotten. And the same thing, not to the extreme, but the same thing is kind of like with Tegan Nox and Dakota Kai. So I hope that at some point, maybe after this match, that they're having next week, which hopefully means that Io wins and Rhea doesn't, but I'd like to see Raquel Gonzalez and Rhea Ripley go at it, because the two of them, they're big, strong women, and I feel like that would be a good match, and it would be a fresh thing, because then you could have Dakota Kai playing the role of the spoiler, the interferer, instead of the one in the match, and Raquel being the one who causes the interference.
And also, like, they end up that package in saying they're planning on hurting a lot of people. So there you go. There's your cue. There's your cue right there. There's your cue right there that like they probably are going to cause interference in this match, and that will start their storyline. So good, really good booking and skills right there, Mr. Leek. Cruiserweight tournament. Isaiah Swerve, he's backstage and he's talking about his upcoming match. He's going to go with Gallagher. So he said that pretty much he's going to win. He needs to win. He says he talks about how he's been able to take out El Hijo del Fantasma, not Hijo el Fantasma. And Scott says that he's going to beat Gallagher. Then he throws some shit at Tony Nese and potentially Jack Gallagher, saying, if I couldn't get a single win in the whole tournament, I'll probably quit wrestling altogether. So, yeah, you can say, ooh, that he's throwing some shade.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, because Swerve to me was always kind of like that. He was like cocky and confident, but then he's saying some lines, and it almost, I don't want to say he's like kind of turning heel, but I could definitely see that because you got Phantasma, who's face, Maverick, if he stays, is a face, Atlas is a face, Kushina is a face. You have lots of faces in this group of cruiserweights. Tozawa, same thing. So, like, get some heels in there. You got rid of Leo Rush. He was a heel. You took Angel Garza away. He was a heel. Who's the other one? Theory. He might be a cruiserweight. You know, he's on Monday Night Raw, but also a heel. So, turn Scott heel. I would definitely like to see that. And I think maybe with a loss here tonight, I could definitely see that happen.
I love the fact that he's like, I'm sorry, I have a house to take care of.
Yep.
So that was really cool.
Swerve's house.
Yeah, but so, well, you know, I don't know if it's Pages, I don't know if it's Swerves, you know, everybody has a house in that performance center. Jean Paul, the big news, the most important announcement of NXT this week, DX is back. We got to see Triple H, we got to see Shawn Michaels, and I don't know why the Road Dogg was in there, although I like the Road Dogg, but I don't know why he's there. But they're going to celebrate 25 years of In Your House, you know, in Isaiah's house. You know, it's like, I have a house to take care of in your house. So they said they're going to celebrate this way, this big thing by doing an NXT takeover in your house. So it's going to be held June 7, 2020, Jean Paul.
Yeah, which I think is a good idea because you see a lot of, you know, WrestleMania played off the idea like, oh, you know, I couldn't watch WrestleMania or whatever their T-shirt was. I watched it from home. AEW's doing the same thing with Double or Nothing. So, you know, capitalize on it. But this is at least the most, I think, cool and legit way to capitalize it because nostalgia sells. The old In Your House pay-per-view, some of them were actually, you know, really legit shows. So this is a kind of way to incorporate it because we're all in our house, we're all stuck in our house. So, you know, we can't actually go to Philly, New York, you know, wherever to go see these shows. So we got to watch them in our house. So I think it's a good way to capitalize on that. Exactly.
So that's what I mean. Like they at least they resource to like a name that like is very relatable nowadays. And they made the shirt, they made the logo. It's already, you can see the logo in the pictures that we have, family. So it's really cool. And hey, it's going to be a pay-per-view, so we see a lot of implications of all these situations that are happening. We might see Karrion Kross there. We might see, you know, the NXT Championship match, the triple threat. You know, we have something to look forward to in the land of NXT. So that's really good on WWE's end. So and then you said, of course, they do that to sell some shirts. They need some money. You know, they need to pay these wrestlers. Hey, we'll go buy a $30 shirt that you can make or buy like on eBay for like $10. You know, give those extra $20 for the ones that get their stimulus check or the guys that have money. So let's go, Jean Paul, to finally Finn Balor and Cameron Grimes. Good match, you know, really great stuff. And finally, we know who attacked Finn Balor, and that was
Damien Priest. And you know, take us through the match, but
yes,
you know,
like Finn Balor, winning pretty much. Balor is dominating the match. Cameron Grimes is a pretty good wrestler, but of course, Balor is the main dude, is the biggest name, so he's actually dominating. But then we get to see Damien Priest coming from the back. And then Finn Balor gets like, oh, what the hell? And then he starts attacking Finn Balor, so he gets all distracted. And then Grimes rolls back in the ring, and he gets to the apron. But while the ref is checking on Grimes, Priest hits Balor in the knee one more time with a nightstick. And then back in the ring, Grimes hits Balor with a cave-in, allowing Grimes to pick up the victory, and he pins Finn Balor. So it's a win-win for both. Why? Cameron Grimes gets a huge win on somebody, and also the feud with Damien Priest is actually is going on. Is, you know, on the way.
And this is essentially, you know, people may think of why are we seeing this? This kind of doesn't make any sense. This or that. All this is, people, is a Band-Aid over the boo-boo of coronavirus because we were supposed to get Finn Balor and Walter. That came to a complete screeching halt. That's on hold. Man, what do we do with Finn Balor? He's legit. Damien Priest just lost that feud with Keithley, and legit. Let's do that. And to me, it works.
Yeah.
It's a legit thing because, you know, Damien Priest, he said, I want to live forever. What better way to do that than to attack a prince? Again, boom, legit line. It plays into his character. Hey, maybe he didn't get the North American Championship, but what he wants, he comes and takes. So if he wants to take down the prince, he's going to do it.
Awakening, you know, and on the chair, legit stuff. Priest, like you said, I'm really high on Priest. Now, Priest, he's so awesome. Like, and I like you said, the lines. How you can introduce that line into any feud. I want to live forever. Hey, I gotta attack the Prince. So yeah, good stuff. Yeah, good stuff. Like you said, of course, the money feud is Walter, but we're gonna see that at some point. We're
Oh yeah,
losing.
and I'm more than excited for this feud. They're gonna put on legit matches.
Yeah, oh no, yeah, but for the now, we gotta deal with the situation, make the best out of it. So that's why it was a good stuff. So now Jack Gallagher, he goes against Isaiah Swerve Scott, and before even the match happens, Tony Nese ends up attacking Isaiah Swerve Scott. You know, we see a heel turn. You know, he got mad because of that line that like Scott said. You know,
yeah, this is at least good because, you know, earlier I was complaining about NXT. Why do you make this guy look like a loser, look like an idiot? But now, you know, they do something with it. So there's always a reason. I still think he should have maybe got the win, but then it wouldn't have played into the storyline. So I don't know. I'm excited, though, that they're not just like, oh, yeah, Tony Nese, thanks for losing all these matches. See ya. They actually were like, hey, let's do something with it. It played into the effect, you could say, of this match that we got here with Gallagher. And, you know, it's all good stuff. They're finally – there's story in this cruiserweight division. It's not just like, oh, the cruiserweights go out there and they wrestle for 10 minutes and it's legit and then there's no story.
Yes, they added more elements.
Yeah, they have personalities, they have feelings, they have emotions, and that's how you can really get invested in these wrestlers.
Absolutely. So Isaiah Swerve Scott kicks Gallagher's chest multiple times because at some point Gallagher was about to win it that quick because he did the finisher with a drop kick onto the turnbuckle, but Scott finally kicked out, and then Gallagher leaps and catches Scott in the guillotine choke, and Scott fights up and picks up Gallagher, but then Gallagher nails Scott with a knee to the head, but then forcing Scott to drop him. Then Gallagher runs on Scott with a roundhouse elbow, covering for the win. So like he did different moves now. He did the elbow, he did like a submission hold. Jack Gallagher gets the win. It's interesting, it's important because the guy is really good. And you know, we've said this before, John Paul, right? If you do all of this, you know, you change your gimmick completely. You have the tattoo, give the guy a win. Make me believe he's legit, right?
Yeah, I mean, and again, you know, they're playing off the emotional story with Drake Maverick and this and that. It's like, okay, yeah, I get it. But you know what? Drake Maverick, they might re-sign him. They might bring him back. You know, he might just be furloughed. You could say he's going to come back when financially things get better. But Jack Gallagher is currently on your roster, so he should be kind of used a little bit more, I think. You know, he should be presented in a little bit better light. He got the win here, but I still think he should maybe have 2 wins instead of only 1. But again, I go back to what I said before the match. I like all the story, all the tension. Maybe you do something with Nese and Gallagher. Maybe they kind of team up because it's like, hey, you know, I don't know. You do something, or you get a feud with Swerve Scott from one of these guys. Do something.
Yeah, like that will be something interesting. But at least, like you said, the main thing, there's finally some characters in these guys, and the tournament finally is being humanized. You're adding a story into something that it was just more wrestling related. So good on NXT. Kaden Carter going against Aliya. This match was really simple. You know, a lot of things were happening mostly on Aliya's side because Aliya, like, there's been some kind of rumors. There were some kind of like indications that she might become another member of the stable for Robert Stone. In the end, doesn't turn out to be that way just because Aliya also got distracted by Robert Stone just being right there by ringside. And actually that gave Karen Carter a chance to, you know, get the win on that because Aliya goes to the top rope and looks at Stone, and then she goes to the top for a moonsault, but then Carter blocks it and gets Aliya down to the mat. Then Carter rolls up Aliya for a 2 count, then gets Aliya into a modified figure 4, not the figure 8 because, you know, everybody like, bridge, done. Nope, figure 4, making Aliya tap out. So Kaden Carter gets the win. Jump on.
I mean, I'm a big fan of Kaden Carter, so I like her getting the win. And she was always one of those women who it's like, hey, I'm going to do the job. I'm going to, you know, I look good, but I always lose. Here, she finally got the win. But it's hard for me to say that I feel she was the right woman. Personally, I like her more, and I think she deserves the win. But storyline-wise, I don't know where they're going with this. Again, I'm never going to doubt Triple H, even though some weeks I question him. I think Aliya should have got the win because I would have liked to see her maybe join the Robert Stone brand. It doesn't seem like that storyline is over. But, you know, if you're going to push Aliya and do something with her, I'd like to see her in that stable because I don't think she's strong enough of a wrestler to kind of stand on her own. She needs to be like a part of a group like that.
Yes, exactly. That's the point. And also, like, because Robert Stone looked disappointed when Kaden Carter got the win. So, like, you'll see, like, there's more storyline coming up. I would love to see Karolina involved in this kind of things. Karolina is, like our Latina wrestler. She's good. She's trying to improve. Let her have some kind of storyline on this. I would love for her to be on NXT regularly. Even if she's going to have opportunities like this. 9 on main event because nobody really watches a main event.
No.
And, she's losing to Asuka. She's losing to Bianca Belair. She's losing to Ruby Riott. Absolutely everybody. So, I want to see kind of like in a different light for Karolina. And this kind of stories could be good for her.
Oh,
Something
definitely.
that is different, Jean Paul. We got to see another dinner time with the Garganos. We got to see this kind of back segment like 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago. It was good. And this time they were pretty much talking about, look how I beat Dijakovic. So like really kind of like I love the interaction between the couple. Hey, look at that strong guy right there. Yeah, you married that guy. Hey, yeah, good job, honey.
Yeah, it's like it's funny, but it's also like cringy's not the right word. They're so like they act like they're so like in love and all this stuff that it gets under your skin. Like you want to see Johnny Gargano get his ass kicked. You want to see Candice get her ass kicked. Just like the way they're so like they think they're better than everyone. It's like, oh, look at this strong guy. Like, oh, honey, you were great. Oh, I know. Oh, thank you. It's like it's so sickening. Like, oh my, like just shut up. You want to see them get beat up, and they're really playing into the heel characters. I like it. And like I said to you, I really like how they're calling out all these couples. It's like their whole thing is like, if you're a couple, you're done.
Yeah,
so,
pretty much because they were calling out Mia Yim and Keithley for the ones that don't know they're dating. So that's why they were saying that. And of course, like he was saying that he wants to, he's limitless. I'm going to prove that he's not limitless. And they did the same thing that they did like 2 weeks ago when they will get serious, the camera goes like the slow piano music stops. And then you kind of like see like the black and white, and you're thinking, oh,
yeah, and it kind of gets like I like how it gets a little distorted too. Like it's not just the black and white filter; they kind of distort the image. That it's almost like, oh yeah, we're so nice. Oh, I love you. But then all of a sudden they just flip it, and it's like I'm gonna destroy Keithley and all this, and it gets serious. And then they go back to being all like, oh, let's hold hands and let's drink, this water.
So like he pretty much is eyeing into Keithley, and now Candice is actually saying the same thing. It's like I beat Casey Catanzaro. He's like, when I should have been, when Mia Yim got handed everything, she got a chance to go with Charlotte. What about me? So the same thing. Candice goes up, and he's like, I'm going to prove everybody that, we are here to stay. We're going to beat everybody, and we're going to, like, get the opportunities for ourselves because no one is really giving us that opportunity. So, like, good thing. I really like this Gargano segment, and like you said, the next rivals are going to be Mia Yim and Keithley. So maybe a possible feud for the North American Championship is in the works. So right there.
And I know I like it because I think they'll have great matches. I don't really remember a time that Gargano and Keithley had a really high-profile match, if they even did on NXT, so it will be legit. The only thing I'm going to say is I don't think Gargano should have the North American Championship, so if they do end up feuding, I think Keithley's going to be the one who wins.
Well, we'll see.
Unfortunately, so we'll see what they do. I think Candice should beat Mia, but I think Keithley should beat Johnny.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah, I don't see why they wouldn't go this route, but we'll see. We'll see. That's NXT right there for you, Jean-Paul. Next week, we're going to see Dre Maverick going against Kushina. So we'll see what happens there. So this is the interesting matchup.
This is because this will make or break me. If Kushina is done, I'm done.
Yes, exactly. And we're going to see also El Hijo del Fantasma going against Akira Tozawa.
There it is. This will be a legit match. Is Tozawa going to be undefeated in this tournament?
And we're going to see if he's actually remembering that it's a Wednesday or they told him it's a Monday. So we're going to see
if Phantasma might change his phone, the calendar on his phone, so he looks and he's like, oh, it's Monday. So,
yeah, you want to feel like, well, look, it's a freaking Monday. Oh, you got to lose. Okay, sounds good. And also, like you said, Io Shirai going against Rhea Ripley, so we'll see what happens. What's the status in the NXT Women's Division to see who's going to face Charlotte. And most likely, it will be in this In Your House pay-per-view and In Your House takeover that's going to be held on June 7, 2020. Main event time, Jean-Paul Matt Riddle going against Timothy Thatcher. Really, really good match. A really great, stiff wrestling match. Two guys that know a lot of submission holds, specialists on that. So it was really enjoyable for me. A lot of people loved the main event. It was because it was wrestling based.
Yeah, no, I did as well. It was, like you said, I couldn't say it any better. Stiff, wrestling holds, submissions, strong strikes. I mean, them European uppercuts, those knees, they weren't like 2-3 inches away. That was skin on skin. It was contact. So legit, tough match, the way I like. And it was, again, nice change of pace. It was an Undisputed Era. It wasn't Johnny Gargano. It wasn't Keithley. It was Matt Riddle, Timothy Thatcher, singles match, and it was definitely a great match, and
Yep.
the feud's not over.
Yep, and actually Matt Riddle ended up pinning Thatcher, but he actually
Yeah.
did like kind of like it wasn't like a crucifix, but it was very simple because he kept applying like a submission hold. He kept doing like the ankle lock, and then he kind of just turned them, and then the
Yeah.
1, 2, 3. But like in the end, it's not that like he was looking to like pin him. It was just like a way so like for him to win. But in the end, Timothy Thatcher was not done because he left the ring and then came back with like a chair, and then started attacking Matt Riddle, and he kept applying the submission hold too.
Yeah, and then I think he got him in an armbar. He was pretty much like, he was like breaking his arm, and Riddle was like, bro, like it was done.
Yep,
So
and
that's
then
the thing
he
I
tapped
like
out.
too.
You know, after the match, he did tap out.
Yeah, because it was like, this was a hell of a match, and I'm like, okay, does Thatcher he lost, and then is he like, so, and then does he just leave? But it's like, no, he's gonna beat down Riddle after the match. He's gonna, what does he say? You knock him out, I tap him out.
Yes.
Well, he tapped out Matt Riddle right here, and you know that they're gonna have another, a grudge match, feud, whatever they're gonna do. I like it, and I mean, this is really cool because then now you have Matt Riddle. What I wanted for the longest time, I was a fan of the Broserweights, but we get him in a singles role, and then he can challenge Keithley. Or maybe Gargano wins it, and he has another bullshit title reign of 2 weeks because then, bro. And then we get him as the North American champ. Or, hey, we already said Adam Cole's going to need somebody new to wrestle. And if you're not going to give the title to Dexter Loomis right away, which I wouldn't do, unless they go what I just said earlier, where Matt Riddle's the North American and then Keith Lee moves up, or switch them, keep Keith Lee North American. But Matt Riddle, he's got a challenge for that North.
Yeah, there's so many, like we always said, the good thing about NXT is like the amount of avenues that we get. The show pretty much goes off the air with Thatcher applying the hold on Matt Riddle. He did not let go. He did not let go, and that's the main thing of the show. Really good for what it was. Of course, we didn't get the main event players, but hey, I would say Matt Riddle is enough to like give us a good main event, and see Timothy Thatcher gave us a great wrestling match. And see, like, we've been wanting that because sometimes main roster, like we said, the Money in the Bank, we don't get, like, professional wrestling base anymore. It was just more like, like the funny spots, like, hey, like, you go to the nostalgia thing. Here we got two guys doing what we love, and that is professional wrestling. And like I said, Matt Riddle, until the bro Pete Dunne is back, he's going to be in a singles role with what he was always meant to be. So good stuff.
Yeah, and we have been seeing other wrestlers return. We saw Rhea Ripley, all these people come back. They might be doing something sneaky again where, maybe, Stallion Riddle's getting his ass beat by Thatcher, and then who comes out? Stallion Pete to make the save. That would be something cool, something legit. So who knows what they all have planned. Like we said, this episode of NXT might not have been that exciting, but these episodes are extremely needed to help further along storylines.
Yes, exactly. So it's like the stepping stones for whatever is going to come, because already we have, like we mentioned, this NXT Takeover in your house. So, Jean-Paul, this wraps it up for today. Thank you so very much for watching every single one of the videos. We'll come back with for SmackDown. Of course, the weekend is going to be piled up with a lot of things. Jean-Paul and I are always thinking, what can we do to deliver for every single one of you? Don't forget, if you like what we do, hey, support us just subscribing. Hit that bell for all the notifications. Thank you so very much for everyone that's done that. When they can find us in the social media, well, outside of Facebook. Outside of YouTube, Jean-Paul.
And then after you click, subscribe on YouTube and you click the bell so you see all the notifications, pretty much every day. So, hey, you're not going to be bored during the quarantine. Let me tell you that. So then, you watch that, and you have Facebook, The Original Rope Break, Instagram, same thing, The Original Rope Break, Twitter, OG Rope Break. And we already know you did, so I don't have to tell you, but I'm going to tell you anyway. Right here on YouTube, The Original Rope Break. Click subscribe, and, welcome to the family.
Exactly right. So, Jean-Paul, before we go, I think there's only one thing that is left to say. And that is...